Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Chairman Bernanke. On page 6 of your testimony, you've indicated that we do have to worry about fiscal balance, and Mr. Neugebauer and Mr. Castle have asked you questions, and I'd like to follow up if I might. You indicate maintaining the confidence of the public and financial markets requires that policymakers begin planning now for the restoration of fiscal balance. Given the fact that we have, I would imagine, a almost $2 trillion deficit this year. I think the projection at the moment is $1.8 trillion, and we're in the last quarter of the fiscal year. My own judgment is that it may be as high as $2 trillion, and my own judgment is that next year's annual deficit may be as high as $1.5 trillion. What would you suggest that we do now regarding trying to achieve a restoration of fiscal balance?
Well, I don't think there's much can be done about this year's deficit, and probably not too much about next year's deficit. But the Congress needs to develop a broad plan which encompasses all the spending plans and taxation plans that shows a moderation of the deficit over time to something sustainable, which I would guess would be something in the order of 2 or 3% of GDP would be. 2
or 3% of GDP, and of course we're well above that at the moment.
That's right.
And I concede the point that we will be unable to do anything for this fiscal year, obviously, since it ends in fewer than 3 months. I'm not trying yet to completely throw in the towel regarding next year. Obviously, if unemployment remains high, and your testimony is that while it may get better, it's certainly not going to be where we are, that would further depress tax revenues, I presume. I see nothing that the administration has done so far regarding restoration of fiscal balance. What would your view be after next year? You would like to get back to 2 to 3% by the fiscal year after next year, Mr. Chairman?
I don't have an exact number. I think medium term means sort of 3 to 5 years, something in that range. But we need to show that we have a plan for getting back to a more sustainable level.
Thank you. My view is that the administration ought to work with us in Congress on trying to show greater progress next year, beginning on the 1st of October. You've indicated that your purchase of T-bills is a plan that will end, I believe, in this fiscal year, the $300 billion purchase. The completion of that will be at the end of September. Is that accurate, Mr. Chairman?
That's right.
And do you currently anticipate that you will be continuing to purchase at this level beginning in the new fiscal year?
That's really a decision that the FOMC, the Federal Open Market Committee, needs to make because it has implications for monetary policy in general. But we will be talking about that as we go forward.
And obviously, we do not favor monetizing the debt. I understand your point that you do not believe you're doing that, but we do have concerns in that regard. I have concerns in that regard, and I certainly look forward to working with you in that area. And finally, Mr. Chairman, and then I will yield back the balance of my time after your response. How much at the moment are we in the hole regarding AIG and what you've done regarding AIG?
We have currently about $45 billion that we've lent directly to AIG, yes, which I believe is well secured. And we have less than 40 that's been lent to 2 Maiden Lane facilities, yes, which are holding securities, yes, which are underwater, and I don't know the exact number, but it's several $1 billion.
Thank you. If you could get back to us through the chairman, I would appreciate it.
Certainly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back the balance of my time.
Next, I have to